Love. It is written about as if it is one of the most complicated emotions in the emotional spectrum. And everyone seems to have their own unique interpretation of what love is.
Unconditional love means just because a person's conditions change doesn't mean your love should.
Love is being able to embrace a person's dark side and their light.
This is true love we're talking about after all.
None of these talking heads consider that love may just simply work just like any other emotion. The only difference is that love, as well as happiness, are emotions that are particularly desired. No one desires hurt, or anger, or embarrassment. Well, unless you're a masochist. And this inclination for love and happiness gives these two sought-after emotions a sort of mystical significance. It may also be the reason why they are so much harder to come across. They seem to elude us as if something we have to chase after, whereas pain, embarrassment, or fear seems to randomly crash into us like a bad Russian driver hitting a corner at 90 miles per hour. Fear is also unique in its own way. As we all know from being taught as children, feeding into fear only makes the fear stronger. It is like a fire when it's being fed. It will continue to ravage unless you take the necessary steps to extinguish it. And a burning desire for love and happiness oftentimes create a fear of not obtaining this desire to be loved. A fear that becomes so strong that it becomes all-consuming, creating a sort of paradox. You see, the more that you long for something, the more it seems that it is harder to obtain. And desire is created when you long for something that you don't currently have. And since desire in and of itself is a product of fear, longing for something intangible may make it virtually impossible for you to ever have it. For example, when you desire love to a point where it is driven by a fear that you will never be loved, that fear of never having love overrides the initial desire to achieve love. Because to maintain this desire or feed this fear, it must always be out of arm's reach. You can't desire something that you already have. So in order to keep that desire, you must never have it. This is called the longing paradox, which is why it is a universal law that you cannot actively search for something that is not tangible. For instance, a desire for food is to stave off starvation, and that fear of starvation causes you to actively search for food. Once you find this food, that fear or desire is extinguished. Desire for food doesn't create this paradox because food is tangible. However, actively searching for something like love or happiness does create this paradox, because we cannot physically touch or taste love the way that we can do food. Then love is a concept that lives in our mind, and in the wild depths of our subconscious, fear rules over all. So what do? Does this mean that we should no longer desire anything? Just give up? Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. We wouldn't be human if we didn't dream, if we didn't long or desire. And it is okay to dream, but we must be careful when we chase dreams. In the example of love, you cannot control someone else loving you. You can only control how much love you have in your heart. And it starts with you loving yourself. And by exuding this positive energy of self-love into the universe, you increase your chance of this energy coming back to you. Probability. Life is probability. By doing this, you are removing the fear and replacing it with confidence. Because chasing a desire, especially under the context of fear that you will never achieve that desire, will always leave you trapped in this longing paradox. So here's a solution. Try these positive affirmations. Instead of saying, I want to be loved, tell yourself, I am loved, I love myself, I am happy with myself. I am loved, I love myself, I am happy with myself. Practice this over and over, and people will feel this energy. They won't see your fear of being alone or your desperation to be loved written all over your face. And the person that you want to love you might actually stop avoiding you like the plague. I am loved, I love myself, I am happy with myself. Exude this energy and watch the reactions you get from other people. But also remember to remain indifferent about any outcome, since we have no control over the outcome anyway. But the power of indifference, that's for our next topic. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Please share it with anybody who you think could benefit from this information. See you on the other side.